What's going on, and welcome back to Kickin' It With. This is episode 23. My name is Zac Holcomb. Today we're joined by Andy Wade of Ironclad Marketplace.
How you doing today, buddy?
Good, man. How you been?
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there?
Yeah.
Right on. Well, dude, super excited to have you out. You're on my short list when we first started. I just never got to you. I don't know what the heck the deal was there, but anywho, we're back in action in 2023 and starting to put the schedule back together, and here we go. So we had Reed Rouse and Channing Rouse, the folks of Inkables fame and Engage LA. They do a little LA, little LaGrange wrestling club and stuff like that. So they were on the last episode we had. So if you hadn't checked that one out, check that one out. Glad to have you here on this one. And this is the thing I always forget to do. Please subscribe to the channel. I always get yelled at because I never say it, but please subscribe. Do the like thing. You subscribe. Yeah, there we go. Appreciate it. One of 135 right here. Right here.
You the proud.
Yeah. Right now. Hopefully we'll be in the 10,000s, by the end of the year.
We'll get there.
That's the goal. I don't really have a goal for it. It's more or less just like, let's just figure it out and hope everything works out right.
Hey, that's the way things happen.
Yeah, organic.
Yeah.
Organic. So, anywho, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Other than that, we won't bother you with any of that jargon anymore. We'll just do some ads maybe later. Do an ad for Ironclad, too.
That works for me.
All right, sweet. Well, what's been going on, man? How are things down there? I know you guys had your retail business.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the business for folks that might not know about it.
Well, we're a big group of small businesses, more or less. Mm-hmm. We've got 64 vendor booths and 15 vendor shelves.
Right on.
And big selection of stuff.
Yeah.
Something for everybody, really.
It's true.
Collectibles, antiques, cast iron.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
But we've been blessed with an awesome team of vendors. January 1st made 4 years that we've been open in that location.
Nice. That's crazy.
And we've only lost 12 vendors in 4 years. So
nice.
We've been very blessed.
Very good. Yeah, I definitely hit that spot up, and I'm looking for those unique gifts, unique gift ideas for people that have everything. Mm-hmm. Like, those people like they buy every techie thing that they want.
Yeah.
But there's always they have that one thing that they really like. I was looking for stuff for my father-in-law. I always head to your spot when I'm looking for stuff for him because you can't buy anything for my father-in-law that he doesn't already have that he wants.
If you can't find something for somebody in there, you ain't looking hard enough. Exactly.
That's why I hit you up and I was like, hey, you got any blocks? You got any chopping blocks? And you're like, I don't think so. And I was like, all right. And I went and looked, and then I was like, man, let me know when you get that Piper Cub stuff because I'll be buying that stuff off of you. But yeah, it's like what you got down there. It's just a whole eclectic mix, and that's a cool thing for you of you're just hosting the party. And you get to experience, it's obviously something you enjoy is antiques and collectibles and finding things and the search and the hunt and all the stuff that comes with that.
I live for it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in my blood.
I love it.
Me and my wife have to go through there with blinders on, and we take half of it home.
I was going to ask.
I still do sneak some stuff out. She kind of had to get on me right before Christmas. Getting a little too much for myself.
Well, yeah. We saw the Dale Earnhardt collection that you scored not too long ago. That shit was badass.
Yeah, I look up every once in a while.
Yeah, that was awesome. We were walking through there and showing that because I told you, man, I had tons of Dale Earnhardt die-casts. I was that guy there for a minute, and I was in a sticky situation where I was selling a house and I needed to get out of it, and I had some work that needed to be done, and I really didn't want to go back and move these extra boxes, and I got lucky, and the person that could help me with the work was also interested in the boxes full of stuff, and so we kind of struck a deal. But ever since then, I've been like, dang it, man, I had such cool – it wasn't so much the value of the stuff, it was just the time remembering finding different pieces at different times and building the collection.
And certain pieces I have remind me of certain races that I watched. Like Dale's first win at Daytona, stuff like that.
Yeah, you showed me that one.
But I don't know. I don't even follow NASCAR anymore. But I still buy a lot of NASCAR, Earnhardt stuff, not a lot of NASCAR stuff.
Yeah.
But that's actually how I got started reselling.
Really?
When I was a drywall contractor for 20 years, and when work was slack, I would take some of my collection. Which when you're constantly buying stuff, you always got some extra stuff. So I would take all the extra stuff down at the end of Goodman Road, and everybody sets up for free down there. And I would set up sometimes on Wednesday, sometimes Saturday, and just sell NASCAR stuff to make money to go buy more NASCAR stuff.
Exactly. I like that.
And it kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah.
But, we ended up getting our little store 6.5 years ago over there by Ma's Hot Dog House.
Okay.
And a little 1,200 square foot store, and that's when we kind of started dabbling in other things. And
yeah. How many square foot is it now at the new spot?
12,000 square
12,000.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, when we
Yeah,
first,
that's an increase in size.
when we walked into that place and everything echoed, I was like, how are we going to fill this place up, you know?
Yeah.
But we put it in the good Lord's hands and prayed on it. And we knew we had to have at least 20 or 25 vendors to make it work, you know?
Right.
And in 3 days, we had 25 vendors. And in 3 weeks, we had 40 vendors.
Wow.
And
that's impressive.
Hadn't slowed down.
That's very impressive.
I think we're up to 84, 85 on the waiting list for booths right now.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish I had a building twice that big.
No doubt. Did you move into it and go, man, if we ever fill this thing up, I'll really have my hands full?
Yeah, well, I mean, we probably had half of the store as our stuff when we first moved in, but the demand kept getting, the waiting list kept getting bigger, and we'd slowly pull some of our stuff out, add another booth, and like I said, now it's up to, see, there's 64, 65 booths. Man. Plus our own stuff. We probably got 8 or 10 booths of our own stuff.
Out of your own. Okay, that's really cool. I was going to ask that too. That's sweet. Yeah, how do you find people to do that initially? Were you just that kind of tied up in kind of that community?
I give Facebook a lot of credit.
Yeah, that's how you get the people to stop on the way to the beach, right?
Yeah, that little store was off the beaten path. Unless you went down 258 South, you didn't even know we existed.
Exactly.
And when we first opened, back then Facebook would only let you post about 30 pictures.
Okay.
So I'd take 30 pictures of stuff all through the store, post it on our Facebook page, which probably only had 1,000 people on there, you know. Yeah. But we would share it on like 40 or 50 different yard sale groups.
Yeah, there you go.
And they would share it, and I mean, we're answering questions like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning constantly. But
I know that's right.
I mean, it built a customer base that people would come off the beaten track to come check us out, and they followed us to the new store, and it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, they were glad to see you move right in their way.
Absolutely.
That's sweet. Do you get a lot of you get a lot of people just picking you off on the way to and fro?
Yeah. Yeah, we get tons of traffic on Highway 7.
You get a lot of out-of-state people hitting you up right there?
Especially holidays and during the summer.
Really? Yeah, in the summer I figured, Yeah, that's tight.
I'd say during the summer, excuse me, I'd say during the summer probably 60, 70% of our business is out-of-town folks.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, on the out-of-town, yeah. No, I believe that. You ever get people calling you up out of state for random things? Do you guys ship stuff ever?
Oh, yeah. Well, we used to. Yeah. When we had the little store, kind of a funny story. I had a couple that came in. I was there by myself, but it was a couple and another guy. But the husband stood up there and talked to me while the other guy and his wife walked through the store. And they were bringing up little small stuff and setting it at the counter. And he started talking to me about what he did. They have an eBay store.
Yep. Yeah.
And all those 3 do is constantly on the road buying, all over North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. They had a warehouse down in Wilmington. And he said they just bring stuff in. They have people, they pay by the hour to process it and list it and ship it and everything. And all they did was pick. I said, that's the life I want there.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. I just want to buy. I just want to spend money all day long.
We started an eBay store, and that really helped our small store survive.
Yeah.
At one time, I think we had like 350 items on eBay.
Heck yeah.
But that's another thing. It's like anything else. You only get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah, I know.
And that takes a lot to maintain an eBay store like that. And once we moved into the new location, we pretty much knew that was over because it took both of us to keep that going.
Just to run the store. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So we don't even sell on eBay now. But yeah, I'd love to get back into doing it because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that could be really cool, man. That's what we were kind of talking about a minute ago off camera, but like that's what we loved picking and garage selling and throwing stuff on eBay and. Like, my little specialties are just like video games and like some used Jordans.
Stuff like that ships easy too. I mean, that's the stuff you want to sell.
Yeah, video games, and they sell fast. Like the ability to like finding ways to go and like search the sold listings, only the sold, so you actually know what the real prices are, not the asking prices.
People kill me with the eBay stuff.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well,
eBay says it's worth $1,000.
This person's selling this action figure for $199, and you're like, yeah, it's been listed for 3 years, so it's not selling
ask
for
anything you
$199.
want.
Yeah. Exactly. I got this Ford F-150 out here. I can sell it to you for $150,000 right
Sounds like a deal to me.
Right now, I'm gonna put it on eBay.
The way trucks are going now.
Yeah, no doubt. I missed the window.
Another year it might be worth that.
No doubt. Yeah, I missed the window on that. I should have flipped that sucker, man. I should have flipped it for sure. But yeah, man, it's crazy. And it's like you said, you get out of it what you put into it, which is pretty much everything in
Anything in life.
But like anyone with any type of an upbringing can know about certain things that are commodities or are hotly traded or desired items, whether it's pop culture, cast iron, old die-cast NASCAR stuff,
find your niche,
Jordans, video games, whatever you like or you love is your passion. Like, there is a way to make money literally just by buying and selling. And then if, say, your thing is like old toys, you're getting to make money buying and selling memories of your childhood. That's pretty daggone cool.
That's the biggest comment that we get in the store is, wow, it's like walking down memory lane in here.
I bet.
You know, and that thrills me more than anything, just to see people happy. You know? And we try to treat everybody just like their family when they come in. Because I think it was, don't hold me, this may have been Maya Angelou that said, Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said and what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
So I try to make people feel like they're home when they come in, you know?
And that is like the perfect saying for you, because like you're literally getting to see how items make people remember how they felt.
Yeah.
So that's pretty.
I mean, I've seen grown men giddy over stuff, you know?
Hey, we gotta talk about that, but that might go on that T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that would be pretty. It's a pretty cool tie-in to like selling antiques. So I mean, that is neat.
Absolutely.
It is neat to have a saying like that. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Well, you said you did a bunch of drywalling and stuff before you got into that. So you kind of worked that for a while just beat up on your body for fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, my drywall business was booming until the housing bubble burst.
I feel you.
And I slowly let all my help go until I couldn't even keep myself busy. And, my wife had left. She'd worked at a bank over in Kenansville for about 10 years. Okay. She had left the bank and started doing mortgage inspections. And
that was picking up at the time.
And after the housing bubble burst, that market exploded.
Oh yeah.
And whenever I didn't have sheetrock work to do, I would ride with her on the road. And
nice.
Her area was along the Outer Banks, so it was like vacation time for me. You know,
yeah, why not?
Except she wouldn't ever stop and let me look at anything. She's like, I got to make these dollars.
There's a stop right here. There's a garage sale.
There's the lighthouse. But I after riding with her a few times, I was like, I can do this. So we ended up. An opportunity opened up for me to get into doing that. And between the two of us, we had like 20 counties that we were.
Dang. Yeah.
And up until 2016, that market was, I was making the best money in my life, me and her both. Really? And we paid off everything we owned. And then when things were starting to get kind of ugly out there in 2016, the summer of 16, we were getting guns pulled on us, dogs sicked on us. I mean, we're delivering delinquent notices and foreclosure notices. So, I mean, you're catching people at the worst time of their life.
Yeah, they're definitely not chilling.
Yeah, and you try to be empathetic and understanding, but you still have a job to do too, you know. But I told her, I said, come fall, I don't want either one of us out here doing this anymore. Yeah. We don't need to anymore. We can do what we want to at this point. So we honestly didn't know what we were going to do. I kind of bounced around the idea of opening up a food truck.
Really?
But then I thought about all of this in a hot truck in the middle of the summer on a hot parking lot, and people might not like that much seasoning on their food. So we decided to do something different.
Well, you don't want to get in that, start taking all that food, taking all that business home with you.
Yeah,
I mean, taking half the antiques home is one thing, taking half the food home is another.
Run out of room for a different reason.
That's right.
Yes. But I enjoy what we do. I don't feel like I work a day in my life because, I mean, I enjoy every day.
Yep. That's the key, man. Like, and it goes right back to it. Like, you figure out and you find something that you really enjoy, and you figure out how to perfect it or find a way to make, some cash flow with it, and all of a sudden you don't really feel like.
And you have to be able to adapt to the market too. I mean, you have to be able to change when fads change and stuff like that. It's still a lot that you have to keep up on, but it's all part of the fun for me is, seeing what's trending and it's trying to stay on top of the trends.
Well, finding new items that house moms are looking to hang in the kitchen.
People didn't know they needed.
Exactly. Especially in like what you do, because like you can be so creative in a way to get to like what someone may want, like depending on what you may see popping up on like Pinterest or becoming popular in interior design. You may in your region, you find something like that on a YouTube or whatever, you're following other people, and then you're like, oh my gosh, we've got a ton of those in my backyard.
Yeah.
That is something different. And I think that's something like around here, I follow a couple of groups for axe throwing because of the axe throwing place.
You'd probably laugh at my list of channels on YouTube.
No, I probably follow some of them. You'd follow the Cincinnati Picker. You got to check the Cincinnati Picker out. He's a good dude.
I don't know. I have an eclectic list of channels. I don't know. I watched Gold Rush for several seasons, and now I watch a lot of different gold mines. I'll never carry my tail down into a gold mine, but it's really interesting watching people explore all the mines and stuff like that, and just see the old stuff from the turn of the century and earlier.
Yeah, like got left in mines and stuff like that. All right,
I'm
that's
kind of
cool.
into that, but I would probably never crawl my big tail down into one of those little.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go under the ground much
nah.
either. Yeah, caverns maybe.
It's cool watching other people do it. Though. Live vicariously through them.
Amen. That's the beauty of today with the YouTube is like you can literally just find a YouTube that will show you anything that you want to show, like vacation spots, prospective ideas to make cash, like different random things that you don't want to do, but you want to watch about it. I'm with that all the time. That's how my daughter gets to experience YouTube. She wants snakes, and so we told her there's YouTube channels.
Right.
Because we ain't getting a snake.
Would have it in my house.
Not going to happen. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Ain't many things on this earth I'm scared of.
Do the snakes
is one of them.
Yeah. What about like lizards? Do you draw the line with
I can
feet?
deal with lizards.
They're cool. Once they have legs, you're good.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Grandma always says snakes was the devil, so I just avoid them.
Yeah, I'm using that excuse too. My daughter's trying to give me, she's like, oh, there for a while she was showing me python, showing me all these different, I don't really know all the ins and outs, and I was like, that ain't happening. And then I started leading her on a little bit for a couple of months, and I was like, I like the colors of these ones. Like, they're pretty. I like the orange ones. They're cute.
We might have to start with a frog or a turtle or something.
Yeah, I was like, you have a freaking bearded dragon. Like, what the hell more do you need? Touch him. Rub him. He's nice.
Yeah.
He loves it.
And once the legs are gone, I'm done.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. It's the slithering motion that gives me the willies, man. It gives me the willies. We were on vacation once in, I almost said Alaska, I wish. But yeah, if you're looking out there to like maybe send someone on a trip, like you go on a lot of trips and you're like, you know what, I think I'm just going to stay in town for this week, but I still want to spend the money. You could send me to Alaska with my wife. We would really appreciate it. So shameless plug.
Start your GoFundMe.
Yeah, the last episode, I asked for $25,000 to $100,000.
That's
lump sum or payments. No, doesn't matter to me. You don't get what you don't ask for.
That's right. Yeah, manifest it.
Maybe one of these days, someone will be like, you know what? That guy asked really nicely, like 9 times for a trip.
You
to
never
Alaska.
know.
Yeah. So,
You're
but
talking earlier about the guy from when you were younger.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that?
Yeah.
Years later, that
it totally
that would
works
pay
out.
off. You know,
that's amazing, and that's true too. Like, and you probably see it on the Facebook stuff. You probably have people that come in and they're like, "Man, I followed your stuff on Facebook for a couple of years. This is my first time stopping in."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really does happen. Some people generally, I can't remember what the rule is, 22, 23, 24 times someone has to see something before they're really like, okay, I think that's for me. Like, it's a branding, it's a marketing thing. I can't remember exactly what the phrase is because I didn't go to college. I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
but
I had a little bit of college.
Did you? Nice. Where'd you do that at?
Pitt Community College.
Oh, okay. And you did
Industrial
military
maintenance
stuff too, right?
Yeah, I was Army National Guard for 7 years.
Okay, nice. Very cool.
I worked full-time National Guard right before I got out up at Fort Bragg.
Okay, nice.
Soon to be named Fort Liberty, I think I heard.
Oh, they changed it because the guy's name or something like that? Yeah. Oh, my God.
It'll always be Fort Bragg to me.
Yeah, exactly. It almost makes you want to call it that even more.
Yeah,
when they
absolutely.
change it and do stupid shit like that. I can't stand that stuff, the history of racing. Anyway, I digress. It's a whole nother 2-hour episode, I'm sure. I can't stand that stuff. But
You don't get me started. I'll be up on my soapbox in a minute.
I know.
My wife will disown me.
I'm hearing your pulse through the headset. Yeah, we're thinking about doing the dark episodes where
I promised my wife I'd be good.
Yeah, you would. we had Joe Hargett on. Speaking about that, was really funny. Man, we had Joe Hargett on an episode, and it was really funny. We had a great time, and we were laughing our asses off. And he went home, and about an hour later, he texted me and was like, "Hey, had a great time. You think maybe we'd take out that one part?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's cool. We can take that out." And he was like, "Cool, man." He's like, "When I got home, my wife interrogated me on what all I said. And she told me that probably wasn't too smart."
That's coming.
And so if you could take it out, I was like, "Yeah, no problem." But yeah, it was really funny. It was really funny. But oh my God,
This is crying shame. You have to censor yourself. But
yeah, I know. That's why we started the Kickin' with podcast, man. It's like there's a lot of people that I don't know, like not having, that was a big thing for me, man, like getting out from underneath the people. And like, I didn't really have like a boss that was really crushing me down on, you know, me not being able to say things or do things. But like, you know how it is. There's so many people that, you know how they really feel about stuff, but they genuinely can't express it in too loud of a fashion because they've got a position in a, you know, in a career or public office or a public position. They can't really like voice their opinion. Why have we become that? Like, why can't we just get over that? Why can't we just say stuff?
It's holding us all back.
It's the dumbest thing.
It is.
You can't have real conversations because you're too terrified to say
You can't be afraid of the truth.
Yes. Or just not the truth. Like,
just facts.
Why? Or not even facts. Just an opinion of someone else. Opinions are like assholes. We all have one, and they all
we're
stink.
allowed to have those.
Yes. So
the Constitution guarantees that.
Yeah. Like, why are we so afraid to just hear something? Like, I don't know. It's the silliest thing to me. Like, the amount of people, like the canceling people because you follow them for 3 years on something, and then they make like one off-color joke that crosses your line, and then you unfollow and block the person, and you're like, that person should be fired from their job. Pitchforks, like what are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing?
I got a little story I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, get the pitchforks, get your torches. It's a witch. Yeah, it's craziness. It's craziness. What kind of? I know you guys host tons of like the really cool events and things down there. You're definitely creative when it comes to putting together things to host outside of the building that provide opportunity for other people or other business owners that you don't necessarily directly benefit from, but obviously by proxy and being the other building in the parking lot you benefit from. What are some of the things that you've done there? Because you have a lot of space out there.
Yeah, we got about, I think it's right around 6 acres of concrete out there.
That's crazy. That's a lot.
And hello.
It's a race car.
Not just
I know there's this dude that's got a truck, and every time he does it, we go, it's like, dude, why do you think that's cool? I don't know. Right?
I don't even want to talk about my high school years in my loud car. But
we laugh and we're like,
now it pisses me off.
Yeah, we're like, was that a car or was that a bicycle with playing cards in the spokes?
You'd have known my Chevelle if I'd have came by in it.
Is it pretty nasty too?
Yeah, 67 Super Sport, 396. It was bad.
Yeah, that's good.
But I digress.
I know. I hate talking with people. It's a love-hate relationship talking with people that had really cool cars because you see all the love and all the passion in the conversation.
I should have never got rid of that
And then
car.
you see the heartache for getting rid of it.
Exactly.
I've got one of those for myself where I had like a 94 Cutlass when I was in high school, and it was like a Cutlass Supreme convertible. It was like white, and at that time they had a console in the front and the back. So it was 4 bucket seats, no bench in the back. White with white top with white leather. It was the coolest freaking car ever, and they didn't make a lot of them. And like Haggerty's was like, this is one of those cars, top 20 cars. It's made in the 90s. It's probably going to be collectible-ish in the next 20, 30 years, and it was on that list. And we got it, and it had like 60,000 miles, and I babied that thing forever. And then I met my wife, and then I needed a car to drive. And then it was sitting outside, and I was in Ohio, which is not cool for any car that you want to be worth anything in 3 years. And I was like, man, I felt so bad about having it and not taking care of it, so I sold it to somebody. And then I told the person, I said, listen, man, they bought it in Florida from Ohio. I was like, dude, I just took and got the oil change, but I haven't driven it in 18 months. Like, this is it's been parked. Like, do not, when you get this thing, take it out and go see how fast it is.
Right.
Like,
Don't
seriously,
get out of your system.
Yeah, just take whatever car you're driving now, go out on the freeway right now and do a burnout. And then when this car, it's not a fast car anyway.
Right.
It's not like it's a freaking Cutlass, a V6. A 90s V6. Like, so I was like, dude, please don't.
It was bad to you, though, you know?
Yeah. It would kill a V6 Mustang, you know what I mean? Which high school kids had. So I was pretty fast.
My first was a Toyota Celica.
A little Celica?
I thought it was a dragster.
Yeah. What year Celica was it?
It was a 77 GT.
Those kind of look cool, though.
Yeah.
They kind of look cool.
It was different. Nobody else had one like it.
Yeah, especially around here.
Yeah.
Very tied to the American autos down here.
It had the hurricane rims on it. So I thought I was something.
Yeah. Big Mopar land down here.
Yeah.
Compared to where we come from in Ohio.
And my granddaddy was a Mopar man through and through all his life.
Is it? My dad, we were talking about the other day, and he's like, why do you think that is? I was like, I don't really have a good answer for you other than, like, the Dukes of Hazzard being kind of southernish, but, like...
I never liked the way they sounded cranking.
Yeah, they do have, like, a weird sound. Yeah. I love it in downtown, though, because, like, I haven't been around that many Challengers and Chargers as I have now, and now I like, distinctly know the Supercharger Challenger, or there's a dude with that a gray Trailhawk around here.
I've seen that one.
The Jeep Trailhawk. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that matte gray. Almost, it's kind of like my truck, but
I believe I have seen that one.
dude, he doesn't have aftermarket exhaust on it, so all you hear is it go. Like it just winds up. You hear the front of the car, not the back of the car, and that is cool. The other day he was buzzing through a light, and dude, I like heard him wind that thing up, and I was in there, and we had the garage door open, and I was sitting there, and I was like. Grant's like, what are you doing? I was like, did you hear that supercharger coming down the street? Oh, my God. Like, it's great when you don't hear the nasty, obnoxious exhaust with it. You get to actually hear the engine.
I had a friend that had a Camaro, car Thompson, and he had gear drive on it. Yes. And you could hear him coming a couple of miles away just about that gear drive whining.
Yeah, that's cool stuff, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this dude, man, that'd
be a good series for you to do videos on, as everybody used to cruise Fairfield.
Oh, yeah.
Old Fairfield stories.
I like that idea. Yeah. That is a good idea. We'll have to check that one out for sure. We'll do like a mini series of just the Fairfield Chronicles or something.
There's some stories to be told about that place.
I'm sure. I'll have to start. Who should I start with, Tim?
Yeah, it'd be a good.
It'd be better to start with maybe than him. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't around here back then, but
yeah, he was there.
Right.
Yeah,
he's my neighbor, man. Him and Jane, they're awesome.
Okay, yeah.
He's always keeping an eye on us. Tyler Stanley, we got him to come out and start mowing the grass this year because Tim used to give me so much flack because I didn't really care. And he's like, it's a rental house. Like, I don't need to mow the grass every time. It's fine. And then he started, that's what I needed. And he started making jokes at me and jokes at me and jokes at me. So this year I got Tyler doing it for me.
He shamed you into it, huh?
He did. Yeah, I tell him all the time, like, you are looking good? All right, cool. I'll tell Tyler, keep it up.
Yeah, Tim is actually my partner for the flea market there at the store.
Yeah, nice.
Battlefield Flea Market.
Yeah.
So that's his big Connex that sits out back there. He's got his own little store set up in there.
Does he?
Yeah.
Nice. So is that got separate hours and all of that? Or?
Yeah, mainly it's just Saturdays.
Okay.
But and like you were talking about earlier, we do events out there. We offer free space for anybody that has a nonprofit.
Very cool.
To come set up and make some money.
Nice.
And we put on car shows. Had a couple of Christian rock concerts.
Nice.
And different other events, motorcycle rallies and stuff like that.
Nice. Food trucks?
Oh, yeah.
From time to time?
Not as much since the pandemic, though.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, before the pandemic, we had a food truck there every Tuesday through Saturday.
Wow.
Every day we had one.
That's really cool. For like lunches and stuff?
Yeah.
What a better way to get traffic through, man.
Yeah.
What a better way.
Food draws people in, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and we don't charge food trucks anything to set up either.
Right, exactly, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just get the proxy advertising,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then they're more likely to come because you're not taking money out of their pocket. So.
That's right. Got plenty of room for parking.
Isn't that crazy, collaboration working in a small town? Holy
Who'd have
cow.
thought?
Who would have thought that could have been a thing? Back scratching and not backstabbing. That's the way to be, baby.
Yeah, there needs to be more of that.
Amen. Well, you got a big birthday coming up, right?
Yeah, 55.
55.
Yeah.
Nice. Got
feeling about 75, but
that's all good. It's all good. You got the big. You're telling me you got big dinner plans, hitting up Harp and Dills.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that for the first time.
Get you a little wheat swamp Angus steak. Maybe,
yeah, I've heard a lot about that. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm a steak man, so anything other than like we were talking about earlier, the what do you call it, the Red Lobster stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the Red Lobster. Yeah,
commercial ones.
Yeah, the chain joints for sure. Yeah, I try. We don't hit a lot of them outside of McDonald's just because it's cheap and easy and whatever. Yeah. Sometimes you just need a little placeholder for a couple of hours and it works great. But yeah, man, it's a pretty good spot over there. Trying to think.
Wait to try.
What do you do oysters at all?
I don't.
Not a big oyster.
Never have been.
Really?
My whole family does. I've never cared for them.
Texture
thing.
I feel that, dude. I think I was probably the same way, and then I got down here, and it's just kind of like an acquired taste now because I live down here. But now I love them. I went back to Columbus for the holidays, and I couldn't find like any good seafood anywhere. I was like, I felt like such a loser. I was like, oh, well, guys, we should do let's do surf and
seafood on the street corner down here.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I was like. I went to Myers, which is like a grocery store, and I walked in and I was like, the only shrimp they had was like the frozen shrimp cocktail rings with the, and I was like, and it was like $19 for like 0.4 pounds, and I was like, I just got a whole pound of these fresh from Reynolds the other day for $10 at lunch. Like, what the hell is this stuff? Like, come on, man. So I like didn't buy
in the wrong
any.
line of work.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, man, y'all got to come down. I was like, we have a cooler. Like, we could have got it up here. I was like, next time we come up, we're gonna bring like a peck of oysters and some shrimp and scallops and all that stuff, and actually do it right up there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Show them.
The steaks were good up there. Not to grow a cow up there in the Midwest, but anywho, I'm big on the steaks too. What's your favorite cut?
Ribeye.
Ribeye.
Yeah, I'm a simple man. Simple taste.
Are you you eat the whole thing or you pick around it?
I pretty much eat the whole thing.
Whole thing?
And the fat's where the flavor's at, right?
Right. See, I'm kind of like the other. I'm like the filet. I can't do too much of the fatty stuff. But I have gotten more hip to
I don't like too much stuff. I mean, sometimes it'd be too much.
Properly marbled would be,
yeah,
not just.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't staying chewing the fat for a while.
Yeah.
I don't chew the fat like this.
Yeah, I'm not eating chicken because I don't want the gristle. All right, that's why I'm on the red meat for sure. Yeah, we do the fillets as well. You like what's your out? You haven't had this yet, but where's your go-to spot currently for best steak? You can pick. Probably
the best steak I've ever had at a national chain was probably Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, solid choice.
Yeah,
solid. Have you done the bison steaks?
I did years ago.
Yeah. Probably too lean for you. You like the
Makes sense. I don't like anything that's got a gamey taste to it at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like venison, but that's about as far as I want to go with wild game. And now, don't get me wrong. In my past, I have eaten squirrel and rabbit and quail and dove. I grew up on all that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the little rabbit roast.
Yeah.
I like that. We did meal rabbits.
My problem is I'd have to convince my wife to let me bring wildlife in to cook.
So this time when I worked for my in-laws, we got this great idea. It was my idea that we were going to start raising meat rabbits at the house. We lived in like a beginner home subdivision in the city of Columbus at the time. I was like, it's fine. We'll just put them in the basement.
Yeah.
That was a horrible idea because they smell terrible. And so we're raising these freaking meat rabbits, and I'm pretty efficient at getting things going. Once I'm like, so we get meat rabbits going so well that they're all over the freaking basement. We're like, Jesus.
Never go hungry.
Yeah, we were never going hungry. So anywho, we had this one rabbit that my brother nicknamed Dinner, and Dinner lived a nice life. And then we took it to work and gave it to our buddy, and he took it home and then brought it back the next day in a crock pot, roast ready to go, and plugged it in. So we're in there, and my mother-in-law is like, she's like a SPCA type person, big on the animals, loves all of them, especially the furry ones. And she,
little thumper.
Yeah, dude. So she starts coming through the shop. She's like passing out paychecks. So she would never come past this door. Like the shop was like, the building was 10,000 square feet, and it was broken up into thirds. And the offices were like the front third, and the kitchen and the bathroom. So she never came back past that first third wall except for to pass out paychecks every 2 weeks. Of course, that's the day we have the freaking rabbit roast in there. So she comes back in there, and this dude that worked there who I nicknamed Terry, and Terry is a character that I use, my default name for like needing the guy's name real quick. Joke. Anyway, his name was Dan. His real name was Dan. And he just thought it was the funniest thing that we had a rabbit roast in there and that Laurel was walking around. So she goes back in there, and we plugged it in the back corner of the back third. So it was like way far away. We were like, no one will know. It'll be great. Let's just try it. And so she comes back, she hands him his check, and she goes, that smells really good. And Dan, and I can see him. I'm in my seat, and I'm like looking out my little window, and I can see Dan over here, and I was like, and she's in there, and I can see him, and he's starting to turn bright red. He's a huge dude, and he starts turning bright red, and he looks back like this. And he like looks around her and makes eye contact with me, and then sits back forward. And then all of a sudden I see her go, and she turns and looks back at me like, and then she storms in, goes through the door before my office, and then like shuts it real hard. And he comes out, and they're all laughing in the room. There's all the CNC machinists. We're back in this little room, and they thought it was the funniest thing to tell her. She come in and goes, "Oh, that smells great. What is it? Oh, that's one of your son-in-law's rabbits back there. Donovan took him home, threw him in a roast, and there it is back there." And she
dig in.
And then he turned around. He was like, "Ha ha! Have fun dealing with that one." I was like, "Oh,
yeah, that wouldn't go over well with my wife." She promised me if I ever tricked her into eating deer,
Game,
that she would probably murder me in my sleep. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you wake up like Goodfellas.
Deer head beside me.
Exactly. Oh my God, it was like one of the. It was like I instantly was like, I'm gonna get in trouble for that, and then it was like, but that's such a good story for the rest of my life. They can't do anything to me that's gonna make me not be like, that was so worth it. But my wife's dad comes in, her husband comes in about 30 minutes later. She had left. She had to leave the building. She was beside herself, and he came in and he was like, hey, he's like, trying out the smile. He's like, don't be bringing rabbits in here anymore. He was like, I see, I get it, but don't. And I was like, you want to try it? He's like, mm-mm. I'm like, come on, I know you want to. Like, and he was like, no. And I was like, I get it, man. Like, you're not going to. But in his mind, you could tell he wanted to.
My wife literally took my BB gun away from me. We had a lot of bird feeders along the back of the yard back there, and the squirrels were constantly just ripping them apart, throwing seeds everywhere. So I had to pump up BB gun. I just pumped it like 1 or 2 pounds.
1 or 2, yeah.
Pop them right in the butt, knock them off. They'd come back after a little bit.
Yeah.
My wife was on the porch with me one day, and I was going to do that, and I accidentally killed a squirrel. I only pumped it twice. I just hit him in the right spot, I guess.
Yeah,
but my BB gun disappeared after that.
Yeah. Well, your initial reaction was like,
oh crap!
You went for the high five. You're like, oh, it's not my dude, it's my wife.
I thought he was going to make it for a minute, and then until he fell over.
He just didn't make it. Yeah. Man, I've never had the squirrel, never had frog, never done any of those ones. But yeah, venison and the rabbit ones. Those are about as wild as I got. Like calamari.
Probably about
and stuff.
the most exotic thing I've ever had was maybe frog legs or alligator.
Yeah, the alligator, like the tail or
whatever.
Yeah,
the tail is all I've ever tried.
Yeah, I was in Nashville a couple months ago, and a bartender was like doing a thing. We were kind of eating lunch, and all of a sudden she comes over and she was talking to some girl that works there, and she was all excited about something. We heard like something. It's gonna be really good meat. I'm really excited. I've never had it before, so I was like, she kind of quit, and I was like, hey, what are you talking about? Like, what kind of meat you talking about? She's like, I married a guy who's like from a family of hunters, and like it's kind of our thing. Like we're really big into it. And anywho, we like trying different things that we can't get all the time. I was like, oh, okay. So what are y'all excited about? And she's like, my husband just called, and he just got this plank of kangaroo.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what do you mean?
I tried.
Yeah, she was like, well, and she starts telling us about it. She was like, so very similar to like why we hunt deer here in the States is because we run over them and we hit them with our cars. And so in Australia, they have hunting season on kangaroos to keep the population down so they don't run kangaroos over with their cars. And I was like, shoot, I never freaking thought about that. Like, those knuckleheads, the water goes the wrong way in the toilet. What the hell are they doing down there anyway? And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. She's like, yeah. So she starts telling us about it. She's like, it's just like a really lean meat, kind of like venison, but it's more of like a lighter meat. And yeah, she was like all gassed up to get home and try this kangaroo slab. I know. I was like, I talked to Chris Hatcher about it when he was on. I was like, you ever had a kangaroo? He's like, no. I was like, if you find some.
Chris has bought a couple of pieces of cast iron from me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he's got a pretty cool, I haven't been to his setup, but I hear it's pretty nice.
They always have the events while we're open, so I never get to make it to them.
Yeah. And he needs to do a Sunday event.
Yeah, do it at Ironclad.
Yeah. That would be cool. A little steak cook-off or something like that down there.
I'm game.
Why not? You have all the space.
I'm game.
Right there with all that traffic driving by.
Absolutely.
That could be a good deal for vendors and stuff, too.
Absolutely.
There you go, True Smoke people out there. Go ahead and hit up this guy. You got a location right now to host a whole freaking cook-off.
I'm a member of True Smoke, too.
Boom. Just making connections out here.
I don't want to post on there much because I don't cook much anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm like, here's these chicken nuggets I got from McDonald's. Look, I got buffalo sauce.
If I ever get my man cave done, I'm going to start cooking a lot more. I promised my wife I would. So.
Yeah. That's how we are right now,
I promised you.
Yeah, we're not too hot on cooking in the rental house we got because it sucks, but once we get the upstairs done, man, it's back in action. I picked up a little Blackstone this year for like Father's Day, and I really
seasoned those too.
Do you? I'm gonna. It's like you knew. You read my mind. I full blown screwed it up.
I use a product called Buzzy Wax. It's the best season in the world for cast iron. Sell it right there at Ironclad.
Okay. Nice. Never know what you might learn on Kicking It with. I'm gonna have to hit you up for some of that because I've got like one half of the Blackstone that's like the good side.
Right,
And the other
yeah.
side's like, I guess we'll turn that side on today. We're gonna have a lot of stuff on here.
That Buzzy Wax do wonders for it.
Be nice. Right on. Yeah, it was almost like I ran this one in the ground. So I throw oysters on it sometimes too, just to steam them up because it's easy. You splash it with water, it steams them, they open up. But
Kind of eats away your season a little bit.
yeah, and it's just nasty, and it makes it kind of stink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You cook too much seafood on them.
Yeah.
And you don't, I'm not trying to win an award at the end of the cooking session for prepping it the way I should.
Right.
So kind of slack on that.
I wouldn't even know where to start cooking because I don't do oysters.
Yeah.
I've been around them being cooked. I just never cooked them myself.
We just learned, like, we don't know either. It's like not a lot of oyster shucking going on in the Columbus area.
Yeah.
But, Joe was telling us how to get into them and all that from the hinge side and all that. But, yeah, the lady at Reynolds was just like, well, if, you try to shuck a couple of them and the ones you can't get, just throw them on some coals or whatever, and they get warm enough and they pop open, they're ready to eat. And we're like, what? We can figure that out. I think that's easy enough.
Yeah.
When it's open, eat it. Great. Yeah. I wish all cooking was that easy. I'd do a lot more of it.
Yeah.
Why can't chicken just be like...
And mostly when something explodes open, it's done. It's past done.
Really done, yeah. Yeah, Christmas vacation done. Yeah. Right on. That's funny. Well, cool, man. What else you got going on? Anything else you want to add in there? We do shameless self-promotion at the end, but we've pretty much talked about Ironclad Marketplace.
Yeah, that's my life.
Yeah. Good.
And if you're on Facebook, check us out on Facebook. I think we're over 7,000 fans on there now.
That's a bunch.
And I have a Facebook page for my cast iron restoration. It's Andy's Cast Iron Cabin. And we do a little bit of architectural salvage. And I have a page for that too, nice. Ironclad Salvage and Ironclad Architectural Salvage on Facebook. And also a page for our flea market, which we don't really update that one too much, but it's there.
Yeah, it gets
Battlefield Flea Market.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Well, cool, man. We'll tag that stuff up, throw it in the descriptions and all that, so we can try and shoot some people your way for sure.
Appreciate it.
Definitely, if you're into you're looking for the things that you can't buy at Walmart, man, he's got a frickin' 12,000 square feet of all sorts of the good old-fashioned stuff and the good old goods that you just can't find anymore that, like you said, bring memories back.
Vintage farmhouse decor.
Yeah, a ton of that.
Tobacco baskets, tobacco sticks. I probably sell 150 tobacco sticks a month.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah,
and it's just
sticks.
Yeah, that's like we were talking about. It's like, what's that thing that people need in their decor?
Yeah.
And you're like, I got a ton of those around here, boy. Let me tell you. The one thing that I was going to say on that was with the axe throwing, you got to start checking out the Plum National axe heads, the vintage ones. Mm-hmm. Check them out on eBay. Okay. But some particular versions and weights, the axe throwing community really overvalues them for axe throwing, and they'll build they will pay $100 to $300 for a Plum National axe head if it's the correct.
I'll definitely keep my eyes open.
So check that out.
Yeah, I'll put all that in the book up there.
Free, because I've even thought about, because I see a lot of axes going through your spot when I'm in there, and I'm like, man.
Actually, another thing about our store, we keep what we call the wish book.
Yeah.
And if a customer comes in looking for certain items and we don't have it, or any of our vendors don't have it, we put it on a Post-it note and put it in the wish book. And as our vendors come and work on their booth, they'll flip through the book. If we go out to an auction or somewhere like that, I'll take the book with me, so I know what people are looking for.
That's a really good idea.
So if you're looking for something and we don't have it, let us know up front. We'll try to find it.
Right on. Put me down for 1940s Piper Cub.
Okay.
Memorabilia J3, the yellow one with the little black thunderbolt on the side.
Yeah.
That's it, baby. That's what I'm looking for.
Make a note of that, Angela.
Throw it on there. Hook it up, Zach, 614-735-185. But yeah, well, cool, man. I appreciate you coming out and taking the time for sure.
Appreciate the
One of the good guys. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you. Well, everyone, that was episode 23 of Kicking It With. I'm Zac Holcomb. This is Andy Wade of Ironclad Marketplace. Check them out on Facebook. Appreciate it. Thank you.